Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into, well, one of the most intriguing strategic plays we've seen in the AI landscape this year. We've been sifting through a stack of sources, everything from internal deal documents to market analyses, all to unpack Google's surprising maneuver involving an AI coding startup called Windsurf. Our mission today is really to cut through the noise and show you exactly why this seemingly niche deal is a critical bellwether for anyone navigating the future of AI in business.
And that mission couldn't be more vital for you, our listener. Look, this isn't just another corporate footnote. What we've uncovered reveals, I think, a new playbook major tech players are deploying to secure AI leadership amidst intense competition and, crucially, growing regulatory pressure. It's a real lens into how the giants are evolving their game and, what that means for every enterprise eyeing AI for its competitive edge.
Okay, so when we first started digging into the reports on this Google deal, the thing that immediately jumped out was the scale, right? $2.4 billion. But here's the kicker. It wasn't actually an outright acquisition. My first thought was, okay, is Google just playing games with regulators? Or is there like a genius-level strategy here?
Yeah.
We're talking about Google's agreement with this AI coding startup, Windsurf, back in July 2025. It's a non-exclusive technology licensing deal, yeah. And coupled with a massive acqui-hire of their top talent.
Right, the key people.
Exactly. We're talking Windsurf CEO, Maroon Mohan, a co-founder, and a core team of their key researchers, all shifting over to Google DeepMind. Yet, Windsurf itself stays independent, and its investors keep their stakes. It's really not your typical corporate maneuver, is it?
No, it's anything but typical, and that's precisely the brilliance of it, I think.
Yeah.
This structure, it really reflects a creative and direct response to the escalating antitrust scrutiny we're seeing globally. Think about it. A full takeover of a hot startup like Windsurf that would almost certainly trigger extensive, lengthy regulatory reviews, might even get blocked.
Yeah, you can see that happening.
So by opting for this non-exclusive license and essentially, buying the key human capital, Google gets critical tech access and, more importantly, the brains behind it, all without hitting those same regulatory tripwires. It's effectively an acqui-hire on steroids because of that enormous price tag.
An acqui-hire on steroids. I like that.
It signals how highly Google values this specific talent, and it fundamentally redefines how these tech giants are adapting to, get around these growing antitrust hurdles.
And it makes you wonder if we're going to see a lot more of these kinds of deals, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where that line between partnership and acquisition just gets blurrier and blurrier. Okay, let's pivot to the tech itself, because this is where the story gets really compelling. What exactly did Google get its hands on that made them open their wallets to the tune of $2.4 billion for, essentially, a license and some key hires? What makes Windsurf's AI coding tools so groundbreaking?
Right. So the core offering is Windsurf's advanced AI-driven coding tools. Specifically, their integrated development environment, or IDE. They augmented this IDE with something they call agentic capabilities, the system known as Cascade. Now, this isn't just your standard autocomplete or, basic code suggestion tool.
Okay.
Cascade assists developers with automated code completion, sure, but also intelligent debugging and pretty comprehensive project analysis. But here's the clever twist. Its AI agents can actually execute code or commands directly within the IDE, just from natural language prompts.
You mean like do things?
Exactly. You can tell it, hey, generate a new function for this, or fix this error, or create these files, or even run the test suite. All just by describing what you need. It's like having an incredibly powerful, proactive co-pilot that can actually take action for you.
Wow. So an AI that doesn't just suggest, but does, that feels like a pretty big step change. But what about the underlying advantage? Because I know a huge part of the AI race right now is all about the data. Did Windsurf have some kind of secret sauce there?
Absolutely. And this is where Windsurf really shone, I think. Most AI coding tools, they train on vast public code repositories, right? GitHub, places like that. Windsurf, however, leveraged a unique data stream directly from its IDE. Imagine this. Every keystroke a programmer makes, every compile, every debugging attempt, every fix-it-all feeds back into Windsurf's models.
That's granular.
Incredibly granular, real-world data on exactly how programmers behave, what works, what doesn't. It's this invaluable feedback loop for improving the AI models. Competitors without their own IDE interface collecting that level of detail, they just can't easily replicate that. So this unique data asset, it lets Google fine-tune its models with genuine developer interactions. That gives them a significant, hard-to-match advantage in accuracy and, usefulness.
Fascinating. Okay, so if we pull back and look at Google's broader AI strategy, what does this Windsurf deal really mean for them specifically? And how does it play into this, increasingly intense AI talent war everyone keeps talking about?
Well, first and foremost, it translates directly into accelerated innovation for Google. Let's be honest, they've been playing catch-up a bit in the AI coding assistant space. Microsoft, with GitHub Copilot, had a considerable early lead there.
Right, Copilot got a lot of buzz early on.
Exactly. So integrating Windsurf's expertise, especially in generative coding and their Cascade technology, it allows Google to rapidly advance their own offerings. We're already hearing this tech and expertise is being folded into Google's upcoming Gemini AI platform, specifically to boost its agentic coding abilities. It's a direct shot at closing that competitive gap.
And the talent part of this deal, that's almost as important as the tech itself, isn't it? We've heard about these multi-million-dollar packages for machine learning experts. Is that what we're really seeing here? Getting the best minds and, maybe more critically, keeping them away from rivals?
Precisely. That $2.4 billion price tag for what's essentially talent plus a license, it just underscores how incredibly valuable elite AI human capital is right now. It's not just about securing the IP, it's about securing the brains that build and advance that IP. The current AI boom has created just this unprecedented demand for these highly specialized experts. Compensation is through the roof. So Google's move isn't just about what they gained, it's also very much about what rivals like OpenAI or Microsoft were denied. And we've seen this pattern play out repeatedly, haven't we? Google's earlier move with Character.ai, Microsoft's huge $650 million deal with Inflection AI, mainly for talent.
Oh yeah, inflection, right.
Amazon acquiring the core team from Adept AI Labs, Meta taking a big stake in Scale AI and hiring its founder, Alexandra Wang. It is a full-on talent arms race. And interestingly, reports suggest OpenAI themselves tried and failed to get Windsurf. That makes Google's win here even more significant.
Okay, for the business executives listening to this, it might be easy to just dismiss this as, tech giant stuff, big companies doing big deals. But how should their organizations be thinking about the implications of something like this? Because it really seems like Google shelling out this kind of money for AI coding capability underlines its strategic importance for everyone, not just the FAANGs.
It absolutely does. Google's play signals that advanced AI capability isn't just some tech sector luxury anymore. It's becoming a critical strategic asset for all enterprises across every industry. If you're a business leader listening, you should be asking, how quickly are we integrating AI into our core operations, especially in areas like software development? And think about the productivity potential. Windsurf reportedly achieved, in some cases, 94% AI-generated code. 94%. Imagine the potential for massive productivity gains for any software team using Google's enhanced tools down the line. We're talking significant engineering hours saved, reduced costs, faster product development across the board.
That's a huge potential leap. And it's not just about internal efficiency, is it? It's also about market positioning, competition.
Exactly right. Zooming out for a second, the whole generative AI market is forecast to grow exponentially. Code generation is a key part of that. By locking down Windsurf's tech and talent, Google is aggressively positioning itself to capture a big slice of future enterprise contracts for these AI-powered developer tools. That puts them squarely in competition with Microsoft's GitHub Copilot and their Azure offerings.
So it heats up that competition even more.
Definitely. This deal, then, it's a clear bellwether. It signals that companies across the board, they really need to integrate advanced AI, or they genuinely risk being outmaneuvered. And you see the industry enthusiasm, right? Surging AI R&D budgets, developers rapidly adopting tools like Copilot and Windsurf both hit over 1 million users quite fast. This isn't some future trend, it's happening right now.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the strategic wins, the advantages, but look, no deal of this magnitude comes without its challenges, right? Complexities. What hurdles do you see Google facing as they try to actually digest and integrate Windsurf into their, let's face it, massive ecosystem?
Oh, there are significant hurdles for sure, both technical and operational. Technically, Windsurf's tech wasn't originally built on Google's infrastructure. So adapting it, scaling it reliably for potentially millions of users, integrating it smoothly into Google Cloud, Gemini, their existing tools, that's a monumental engineering task.
Yeah, not trivial.
Not at all. And then beyond the tech, there's the delicate balancing act of cultural assimilation. Windsurf was an agile, fast-moving startup, integrating that team, their processes, into Google's much larger, more distributed corporate structure without stifling the very innovation they paid so much for. That's a classic integration dilemma. It's really hard to get right.
And keeping morale up, presumably, for the Windsurf folks who didn't move over.
That too. And let's not forget the regulatory angle. Even with this non-acquisition structure, regulators aren't naive. If they perceive this as effectively an attempt to bypass scrutiny or harm competition down the line, they might still investigate. That adds another layer of complexity and risk.
It seems like that acqui-hire on steroids model, while clever, still has a lot of tricky moving parts and risks, even if it dodges the immediate antitrust bullet. And, when we think about AI actually generating code, it makes me think about potential pitfalls, like security vulnerabilities creeping into that generated code, or biases. How does a company like Google navigate that responsibility?
That's a critical point, and it's a huge challenge. With powerful AI coding tools, there's an inherent risk around the quality, security, and yes, potential bias in the AI-generated code. Developers need to trust the output. Google, like any leader here, needs incredibly robust AI governance frameworks, testing, validation, security checks. It all has to be rigorous. This isn't just about technical bugs. It's about ensuring reliability, safety, fairness.
And managing the human side, too.
Absolutely. It's about managing the practical implications for the workforce. How do developers work alongside these powerful AI partners? We're already seeing discussions about the impact on human developers, the potential for job displacement in some areas, the definite need for new skills, reskilling programs. It fundamentally shifts the landscape of software development itself.
It really feels like a dynamic, rapidly evolving space. So, okay, let's look ahead. Let's say 3 to 5 years out. What does this Windsurf deal ultimately mean for Google's AI trajectory? And what broader trends might it accelerate in the market?
Well, I think we can absolutely expect Google to double down hard on agentic AI. That means AI systems that aren't just smart analyzers or generators, but can actually take autonomous actions, like literally writing and modifying their own software.
AI writing its own code.
Yeah. Gemini AI, now supercharged with Windsurf's expertise in tech, is highly likely to debut as a true multimodal, multi-capability AI. One that doesn't just understand and generate content, but actively participates in software creation. AI for coding could become just a standard, essential component of programming globally, like compilers or IDEs are today. You just won't code without it.
Wow. So not just an incremental improvement, but a fundamental shift in how software gets built. And what about the competitive landscape, the wider trends?
Well, like we touched on, it reshapes competition. This strategic bet by Google is a blueprint for agility in the AI race. It sets a precedent. We're likely to see more modular innovation, big companies assembling AI expertise through these talent-focused quasi-acquisitions or strategic alliances rather than just full takeovers. And this deal just hammers home the intensifying importance of unique, proprietary data sources for training competitive AI models. That Windsurf IDE data is a prime example. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? This aggressive pursuit of talent and tech, often through these complex, sometimes opaque structures. What does it mean for the democratization of AI? Will it concentrate power and innovation even further into the hands of a few giants? Or will it somehow force everyone else to innovate differently, maybe more collaboratively? That's the big question I think we're left with.
Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.